Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for Wednesday. We have 11 games today. Should be a nice, fun slate. A lot of news on this one, as you would expect, with a lot of teams just calling it quits, folding it up as we come to the end of the season. As some of you know, I was at the Sixers game yesterday. They weren't able to get the job done, but I still had a good time. They were ahead for most of the game, and then that 3-minute stretch, Giannis just took off against Paul Millsap. That's all Doc Rivers' fault for keeping him out there, but overall, still a good game. Let's go ahead and get into it. As always, appreciate if you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow on Twitter for updates. For Prize Picks, went 4 of 5 yesterday on the ones I posted. Just missed out on the 5 of 5 thanks to Bagley. And then DraftKings fell short thanks to Dwight Howard. But let's go ahead and get into it. See what today brings. As always, you can check out the sponsor Prize Picks if you want to deposit match up to $100. Starting off at the point guard position, we have Luka Doncic. He's $12,000 today. Going up against Cleveland, he hasn't typically been that productive recently, except for that last game against the Lakers, which was last night. It's a back-to-back for them. He put up 75 fantasy points, big triple-double. They put up like 82 at halftime, and they were up by like 20 plus. But still, very good performance by Luka. I don't think I want to go to him on a back-to-back against a not the decent defensive Cavs team, even though they're missing a couple of their better players today with some of their bigs are out. We have Murray at 11-2. He typically goes off against Memphis, so I definitely think you can go with Murray if you wanted to, especially without Ja Morant. Should be a fast-paced game. You know, he's been great recently for them. After some of these games, he's been shooting the ball poorly, but still gives you a lot of upside all around. So I do like Murray a little bit more than Doncic, just given the matchup here. And then we have Trae Young at 11K going up against OKC. That Thunder team is shorthanded big time right now, and they're just not forcing players to play with SGA's out for the year. So Young should be able to go off, but his price tag is really high at 11K. Garland I like, but I like some of these other Cavs better than paying over 10K for Garland. I'm not going to pay 97 for Halliburton against Denver. Going with some of these value here in the mid-range, I think you can go back to a guy that was super popular last game, and that was Taiyo Maladon at 57. He's just really playing well right now, playing with a lot of confidence, as you would expect with no SGA and no Giddey. Last game they had no Trey Mann. If Trey Mann sits again today, then they have like 8 bodies that they're going to play. So I really like Maladon, and the matchup is solid at home. Other picks that you can look to for value at the position would be Tyus Jones, still without Ja Morant for a week or two. These games are just blowouts for the Grizzlies. Most of these games they've been blowing teams out even without Ja. So we haven't gotten full minutes out of Tyus Jones in a lot of these games, but I still think you can try to get to him if you wanted to. It's a pretty close spread against. They're not huge favorites, like minus 250 on the money line for the Grizzlies today. You have some value in the 4K range with Chris Dunn, just with how shorthanded the Blazers are. You can look to Dunn if you wanted to. Satoransky, typically he's been getting you 6x or more since he's been starting. Gives you assist upside as well. Over at shooting guard, we have some of these guys at the top end I'm not too interested in. Big price tag on Halliburton, big price tag on Devon Booker. Devon Booker, I like him for tournaments. We do have some other good plays, like Brandon Ingram is only 73. He said he was going to be out of minutes limit on his first game back, which he was, but I still played him because he was super affordable at 75. Now, put up only 26 minutes, put up 41 fantasy points. Before he got hurt with his hamstring, he was absolutely balling out for the team. And this is their time to make the push in the play-in situation. So you'd expect Ingram and the coaching staff to quickly bump up his minutes, probably starting today against Portland, even though they might not need him to play a lot against this Portland team. For some of the value at the position, you have Dylan Brooks at 62. If the game is close, Brooks still gives you that upside if he's going to play those minutes. Trey Mann, if he does play, you can look to him at 6,000. 5K range, don't have much interest here. 4K range, you have some of these guys like Keon Johnson will probably start and play decent minutes for the team. He's only $4,700 depending on some of the news that we get. If they have 8 bodies again, you're going to be looking to get to like Ben McLemore, some of these other guys on the Blazers. And then the 4K range, you have Kispert, and then you have Vit Krejci, who's been playing well for the team. He's 4K for the Thunder, and he played big minutes last game. That would be a good play if there is no Trey Mann. Small forward, you have Butler. sandwiched in between two Boston guys. Not the best game to target, two good defensive teams. Even though Miami's kind of been struggling recently, I still wouldn't force anybody from that, especially if Tatum and Brown are both in. If one of them sits, then you can look to the other. Going with some of the value here, I like Pokusevski again at 67. He just played a lot of minutes. He kind of was the de facto point guard at times without Trey Mann, and it was good to see him rack up 11 assists in that thriller against Portland. Almost had a triple-double. He just shot the ball pretty poorly, didn't play great offensively in terms of scoring, but he still absolutely facilitated. We know it gives you upside in that situation. So I still like Pokusevski. Wanted to save some money. You can go down to his teammate, Wiggins. Aaron Wiggins is 46. I think he'll also be a good popular option today. Don't mind getting to multiple Thunder pieces. Probably like at least 3 would look pretty good today, but they're pretty short-handed. So plug in Wiggins. Also, I'll probably play him at the forward position just because there's better value at guard. But those are a couple of small forwards I like. Going over to power forward, you're going to be looking at some of these Cleveland guys because not only is Allen out, they don't have Mobley today. So they are just very thin in the front court. It means Kevin Love is going to play an absolute ton of minutes today. And at $6,900, they typically haven't been looking to play him over 30 minutes most of the season. But he got 32 against Orlando. We saw him play 33 against Toronto. Double-double candidate today, assuming he's going to be starting against this team in Dallas that does like to play stretch 5 at times with Maxi Kleber out there. Should be a good spot for Kevin Love. And then over at center, you have Jokic. Looks awesome. Should dominate this Pacers team. No problems there. Going with, there's so many guys out today. They priced up Sengun, so I'm not interested in his price at 69. I don't mind getting to Capella or Roby. Roby was awesome, 30 points. Capella, especially if they don't have like Gallinari today and they don't have Hunter maybe, he's going to be doing more offensively in terms of just getting some more shots off. So like Capella, I like Roby. And I think you can look to another Cleveland guy. So I'll plug in Karis LeVert at the guard position, and I'll plug in Wiggins at the forward. Just LeVert is below 6,000 now. He's going to get minutes today without Mobley. Some of those minutes are going to go to LeVert, and we've seen him play 33 and 36 minutes the last couple of games. He still is a decent usage player. If they have some time with him without Garland, he'll get some ball handling responsibilities. And just not having Mobley, not having Allen, they have Markin in there, they have Love, but still expect LeVert to play over 35 minutes if this game is close. And this price tag is very affordable. So that's the 6 plays that I got right now. Still leaves you with well over 6,000, like 6,400 left to fill out the last couple of spots. That's it for DK. Let's talk about FanDuel. All right, over on FanDuel, point guard picks. We got a lot of loaded point guard options today. We have DeJounte Murray at 10.8. We have Luka at 10.4. Still a good price tag. And then you have Trae Young at 10K. Looking to get to some of these expensive guys at the point guard position. You can even go Garland at 92. You have a good price tag on Halliburton compared to his DraftKings number. You have a good price tag on Chris Paul at 82. They priced up Kevin Porter, so I'm not super interested. Although he does give you upside without Christian Wood. And then assuming that Brown or Tatum is back, then Smart looks less appealing. I still like Maladon at 63. And then I still like Jones a bit at 58. And then Russell's been struggling, but his price tag just keeps going down. But he's been very tough to trust. Right now, I'll go ahead and put in Trae Young at 10K. He's 11K on DraftKings. A little tough to get to that price tag. 10K, super easy to get to him. Good matchup against OKC coming off of, especially if they're shorthanded a bit without Gallo maybe and without Hunter, who are both questionable. More offensive opportunities, more shots for Trae Young. Over at shooting guard, definitely going to put in DeJounte Murray. We have a good price tag on Garland and McCollum are pretty affordable. McCollum is less appealing now that Ingram is back. Other options would be Edwards at only 67. We have Buddy Hield at only 63. 5K range. Once again, D'Angelo Russell at 55. Looks decent. I still like Karis LeVert at this price at 52. And then you have Wiggins at 47. Aaron Wiggins looks pretty appealing at that price tag. And then maybe Ben McLemore, depending on if Portland only has 8 bodies again. Over at small forward, Ingram is tough to get to on FanDuel at 88. Rather get down to some of these guys that are in the 6K range and the 5K range. It doesn't look like we'll have Kyle Kuzma today. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't play the rest of the season. 5K range, we have Dylan Brooks, 59. That price tag is still appealing. Lauri Markkanen is going to get some more minutes in the front court. He looks fine. And in the 4K range, don't have too much here. Now that Golden State should be back, getting at least a couple other guys back without Steph Curry still. Maybe Kispert at 43, Fournier at 43, Ellaby at 43 if they only have a couple of bodies today. But I'll go ahead and put in Dylan Brooks. He's 59. You can easily play him at 2 spots. As of now, he looks like a good play. He's still always subject to how the game goes because they still run a deep team, and if they are up by 20, then the starters aren't just not going to play too much. Power forward, we have Randall at 78, but his minutes have come down also. He struggled last game. Maybe that was due to it, but it's a good matchup. Maybe you can go to Eubanks instead, who's going to get a ton of front court minutes because they don't have Watford, and they might not have Greg Brown again as he's dealing with an eye issue. But Pokuevsky at 63 looks appealing, but I got to go with Kevin Love first. He's only 52 on FanDuel, or 53 on FanDuel. Looks like one of the best plays on the slate. And then over at center, you can definitely get to Jokic at 11.4. You have a good price tag on Cat at only 89. And then maybe Eubanks at 75. And then you also have $5,900 for Clint Capella. Horford will get some more minutes at center without Robert Williams. But I definitely don't mind getting to Capella at 59, especially just without Gallinari's questionable today. Same thing with Hunter. And we haven't seen Collins in a while, and he's still out. So definitely Capella looks decent against Roby in that front court. Going with these 5 leaves you with still plenty to fill out your roster. And that is about it for the video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight. We'll probably get a lot of news with it being an 11 gamer, but I'll keep you guys posted on Twitter. Best of luck, and I'll see you all next time.